I'm Megan O'Leary, and here's what you need to know in your UFC Minute. This weekend, we have a stacked card with tons of solid fights, with a main event you won't want to miss. When this fighter first began competing, the goal was always the same for the talented mixed martial artist: to win a world championship. This weekend, live from the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, the star gets her long-awaited crack at the UFC Women's Bantamweight crown, in a fight that has fans around the world buzzing. That's it for today. Stay tuned for your next UFC Minute, and I'll see you at the fights.
It's a women's bantamweight title fight between Valentina Shevchenko and Cris Cyborgue. So here she is making the walk to the octagon for her first UFC championship fight. She has certainly taken out a who's who of bantamweight contenders, and now the final woman in line is the incumbent bantamweight champion of the world. A lot of people, Joe, believe her style matches up well with the champion. Your thoughts on what she brings to the table here?
As she makes her way to the octagon right now, her preparation has been perfect. She is in fantastic shape. She is focused. She is motivated, and she believes.
All right, now let's get...
You ready? You ready?
All right, here we go. UFC Women's Bantamweight title is on the line. Well, you can feel the tension in the building. Here we go, early round one of this UFC Women's Bantamweight Championship fight. For the champion, the focus keeping the belt. For the #1 contender, not letting this opportunity slip through the cracks. This is her first title fight. She has bided her time, waited a long time for this Bantamweight Championship opportunity. She has emphasized a fast start. Wow! Wow! Well, I don't want to say it's been overnight, Joe Rogan, but she has become a national star in a relatively short amount of time. I remember we were talking about her getting some attention on the local scene, and now all the national TV outlets want a piece of her. So now, with all of that added...
Whoa! She hurt her with that. This could be it!
Whoa!
Oh!
And
That's it! She's out!
That'll do it!
Wow! What a knockout! Landed a big kick for the knockout.
Well, Joe, she talked a lot about finishing this fight and taking the judges out of it, and she couldn't have done it much better than that. She caught her opponent flush with that kick, full force, full extension, and that spelled the end of the night for the opposition. And when it comes to her highlight reel, Joe, this is the top of the list. This is exactly what she needed here tonight.
Let's take a look at it from another angle here. This is the one that causes the knockdown and the subsequent follow-up strikes for the knockout. Check out this angle here. Crank right on the jaw.
So there she is, folks, a woman who now needs no introduction, the UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion of the world, getting it done by knockout and with major style points here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Bergliano calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 35 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout, and new undisputed UFC Bantamweight Champion of the world, Cris Cyborgue.
All right, congratulations to the fighter and to her team as she becomes a new UFC champion of the world here tonight. And she saved her best performance for last, and I probably shouldn't say last, because she'll want to turn around and defend this title in short order. But tonight, the celebration is on as she becomes a UFC champion for the first time.
Seen a lot of young MCs even die for peace. Posting pictures while I'm posted in Belize. Spent those only rainy nights spraying on my...
Hey everyone, I'm Megan O'Leary, and it's time for your UFC Minute. The MMA world is buzzing about that incredible performance this past weekend in the main event. Last weekend at Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, it was a night to remember for the mixed martial artist whose story has captured the imagination of fans around the globe, as she fought the fight of her life when it mattered the most. When the dust settled, Bruce Buffer said, "and knew." And she was crowned UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion of the world thanks to a memorable performance. That's it for today. Stay tuned for your next UFC Minute, and I'll see you at the fights.